Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Welcome to episode 166 of GSD Daily. Today we're going to talk about e-com stores. So a lot of people don't know this, but when I was 18 or 19, so this was actually like prior to Pepsi, I started an eBay business. And it was an interesting business because eBay was kind of just getting started. Not just getting started. It had been around for a couple of years, but and it was where like power sellers really started moving a lot of product. So I was really into cars at the time, car stereos actually. And I was paging through a magazine of trucking. It was a trucking magazine. And in this magazine, they were talking about, there was ads. So there was like a 6-page ad of all the car parts that you could put on your truck. And at the very bottom, it said, wholesale accounts can apply here. And I was like, well, shit, wholesale accounts. Does that mean that I can actually buy product wholesale and then sell it to somebody? Like they are now, a supplier for me. So I called and it was exactly that. I applied to be a wholesaler. And then what I did was I started taking I didn't buy the product at all. I started taking their product shots, putting them on eBay, and then just marking up the bumper or marking up the hood scoop or marking up the whatever for the truck that we were trying to sell for. So that worked really well. I mean, I was at Mercer Northeast at the time, actually. So I was in Northeast here, and I was selling quite a few bumpers. And by quite a few, I mean like 10 or 12 a month, and basically I would take the money from eBay and then I'd give it to the wholesaler, and the wholesaler would then drop ship it. So this was 22 years ago, 20-ish years ago. It was a really long time. Then I ended up, and at the time, I think I was working for Pepsi. That's interesting. I haven't thought about this in a long time. So I don't know. That's probably where my love of the internet came from, that and blogging and all that other stuff. But anyway, so what happened is right around that time, shipping got really expensive. So FedEx, UPS, like all that got super expensive, and you just couldn't do anything with it, so it jacked the shipping rates up, so the wholesaler was charging me shipping rates. And then my shipping rates got crazy because it's oversized bumpers and stuff. So it's $40, $60, $80 to ship it. And that was all my profit. That was the profit margin on a wholesale good. I wasn't good at it, so I ended up just kind of pausing that thing and whatever, but that was the first e-com physical product business that I ever worked in, which is cool. There was a lot of learned lessons. We were doing about, I think the very last month that I was doing it, I did 16,000 in revenue or something, which, isn't, most of that goes right back out the door because it's wholesale, so it was an interesting learning experience. Let's put it that way. Now, fast forward to today, and we work with a lot of e-com stores who are selling a lot of different product. So most of the e-com stores are set up in Shopify. Some of them are using other platforms, but some of them are using WordPress and WooCommerce, but most of them are Shopify. And today I wanted to talk about a few things. So first of all, I want to talk about sourcing product. So there's 2 ways of sourcing product. I want to talk about specializing in something and then also running traffic and scaling stores. So it could end up being a whole course all into itself, but I want to give a couple nuggets in each scenario. Andrew says, hi. Hi, Andrew. How are you, buddy? All right. So, first of all, sourcing product. So there's 2 ways you can source product. You can either find stuff that you're going to sell yourself. And it might be something you design in CAD, or there's all kinds of really, really cool 3D CAD drawing kind of apps for iPads and stuff. They make it super, super easy to do it. So if you have an idea for a product, you can design it up and send it to a manufacturer. And the manufacturer then, can do a prototype and then send you supply, and then you can sell it on, your Shopify store or whatever. That ends up being kind of a risky proposition because you don't know what's going to sell. So in every business, there's an 80-20 rule. And you're going to hear me talk about this a lot, but in every business, 80-20 rule. So 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your products. So, or even fewer. It might be 95% of your revenue comes from 5% of your products. It really just depends. So e-com is the same way. The problem with designing a product from scratch and then sending it to a company to fulfill that product, you don't know if it's going to sell. So the best thing to do is to sell a prototype. So, and one of the easiest and quickest ways of doing this without a lot of labor and a lot of mind share from you is just sourcing it. So let's say you wanted to sell some workout equipment. Let's say a jump rope. Well, you have this really good idea for a ball bearing jump rope that spins really fast. And CrossFit athletes can use it for double unders. Well, you don't know if your jump rope is going to sell. So the next best thing is to go to Alibaba, look for jump ropes, and find some jump ropes that look like they're worth you testing out and trying to sell. So testing your product first. And then what you do is you request samples. So it might be 2 samples, 3 samples, 5 samples, whatever. They send them to you, DHL, usually, overseas. You import them into this country. So the shipping is fucking crazy. So it's going to be like $50 to ship 5 jump ropes, and it's going to take 3 weeks to get here. But at the same time, you're able to test that quickly. So you take those 5 jump ropes, you put them on your Shopify store, and if they sell through, then you reorder or you go and source the jump rope that you wanted to create. You now have a working prototype. But if you go through all the expense of trying something without testing it, and then you have 1,000 jump ropes sitting in your garage that aren't going to sell, then that doesn't work. So sourcing e-com products is the best way to do it. However, there's one that's even better, and it's drop shipping products. So you can do the same kind of testing by using a drop shipping plugin or app like ZenDrop. So it lets you tap into thousands of products that are out there, able to be drop shipped. You just add them to your store, you set a price, and then when somebody buys it, you collect the money, and then it goes to ZenDrop, and ZenDrop suppliers fulfill that product. It is the quickest and best way of testing something. Well, fast, really. Fast, zero risk. You just throw it up in your store, you test it, you run some traffic, and that's it. Now, the thing about e-com stores is 8 out of 10 of your products are going to fail. So it's like I said, 80-20 rule. So 80% of your revenue is going to come from 20% of your products, or 2 out of 10. So two of the products you test are going to be flyaway winners. The other 8 are going to suck. So you throw those 8 products away. You scale to 2, and then you go test 10 more. So that's how you create an e-com store that works. Either through importing, through creating your own stuff, or through drop shipping. So that's how you would source your products. We've worked with a lot of e-com stores that they just don't specialize in anything. So think of retailers. Retailers oftentimes buy in season. They buy. It depends on the retailer, but you think of the bargain bin kind of pallet drop retailer. So the retailer, you go to one of these supply liquidation events or so. You buy a pallet of stuff. Then you sell that pallet of stuff on your e-com store or on Amazon or whatever. Now you have a very limited supply, which means when you have a limited supply, you can't ramp up the ad spend and ramp down the ad spend. So you have, let's say, 3 pressure cookers. You can't continue to sell pressure cookers because you only have 3 of them. So once you're out of supply and you have no means of getting more, then that ad is toast. So it doesn't make sense to invest a lot of money in something that you're not going to be able to run like a brand, like consistently, over and over and over again. So our building is at the corner of town here. So you get to hear trucks every once in a while and ambulances and all of that fun stuff. So the video studio is going to be on the backside of the building, which is going to be awesome. We're going to stay away from all this stuff. But for now, you get to hear 18-wheelers every once in a while on the back end of our live streams. Where was I? Specializing. Okay. So what you're going to want to do as an e-com shop is you're going to want to figure out the things that are selling the best, and you want to specialize in those things. So it might be a private line, it might be a hand-picked line, it might be whatever. Maybe it's 8 or 10 things that your customers love buying from you. So those are the things that you want to stock and buy a lot of inventory of, keep in stock, and run ads year-round, or summer or fall, spring, or whatever. You want to run them for a long time so those are your core first priority products. And those things are always in stock, and you're always moving those things. And then everything else that is seasonal or that comes in, that maybe you can buy a bulk order for the fall or whatever. All that stuff becomes secondary items that you might sell with a retargeted ad, or you might sell with email. So, but your primary core offers, your core e-com products, those are what you're driving traffic to the most. Year-round, cold traffic, warm traffic, whatever. And that's where you make the bulk of your money. That's your 80% profit or 80% revenue. And then everything else is secondary, and you're driving traffic there through email. Running traffic, that kind of gets into running traffic. When you can keep a campaign on for a while, so if you can keep it on for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, every campaign has an end of life cycle, so we're always trying to actively prevent that end of life cycle. We're always trying to switch up ads and use dynamic creative and stuff, so that we're not burning out the same creative. But at the same time, every offer has a life cycle. Every ad has a life cycle. So what we always try to do is hit those core offers, and we try to always be attracting cold audience into our ecosystem, into our brand. So how that works is you have like one bucket, and it's all cold ads. And then when they watch 10 seconds of a video, they go to a website, they like a page, whatever, then they get retargeted as a second ad set. So we have cold traffic, warm traffic. And what happens is well, it's July now, but in November, December, when traffic starts getting more expensive, then what we can do is we can just shut off. We can just throw away the cold traffic, and we're only targeting the warm traffic, which lets us just more intelligently spend ad budget, And then scaling stores, so the last bit that I wanted to cover today. So basically, scaling stores is mostly about identifying your core products and running traffic to those things and using every means necessary to promote those. And then understanding that you have your core products, you're the ones that are generating all the revenue, and then you have your secondary products, the ones that are generating a little bit of revenue, and understanding how they mix. Also, when you have your core products, you can arrange upsells, bundle offers, like any of that kind of stuff. So that's how to scale e-com stores, find products, run traffic, and all that good stuff. So there are 2 ways that you can work with us. If anything, if you like more information, you like, just more advice on how to scale your own stuff, there's 2 ways. Go to doneforyou.com, and that is going to lead you into like our services portal. And we're just starting something new called Done With You. Done With You is where we don't necessarily push the buttons for you, but we help on a mentorship, advisement, coaching level. So we're always with you, but we're helping you navigate the waters, go through and just basically saving you months and years worth of time off of scaling your own stores in this case, or scaling your online business. At the end of the day, like, we have literally seen it all. So there are a lot of situations where done for you doesn't work, but done with you does. So that is that's pretty much how we're going to roll out. Everything is going to be, we're building consultingsession.com to really be the place where you can kind of self-select into whichever side you want. But being that restarting these GSD dailies has kind of been a shotgun thing, that's in the works. So if you have any questions at all, go to doneforyou.com/start or comment below and we will get right back to you, and we'll talk to you soon. All right. Thanks.